ladies. This is Lisa Marie Goodson and Karla Hampton. And Karla Hampton. So I wait, I made a banner for you. I made a banner. So let me see
Okay.
how it works with both of us on it. So hold on. Okay, so first I have, yes, please welcome Karla Hampton. Yes. And her company is called Intuitive Mind Company. Is that correct?
Intuitive Mind Co.
Intuitive
Yes.
Mind Co. Yes. Okay, Co. Good. Intuitive Mind Co. And I got that. And also, I'll just let the ladies know as you come on before we end, all of the information for Karla is actually in the description box. So, Karla, I left that 20-minute free. We'll talk about that a little more. The offer
Mhm.
that you're actually making for the first 20 women, I think that signs up, they'll get a free 20-minute consultation. And then also you have an email list that ladies can actually get on as well to keep up with you. Okay, so we're gonna get to all that. So anyway, just sit back and relax. There is no reason to just breathe because this is fun and easy. And I'm just so glad you're here, ladies. I hope you have your drinks, whatever that is, some water. I'm drinking water, honey. I done partied. I done loved. I was been on a love fest party. It was a party of one sometimes, but it was a party, god dang it, and I enjoyed it. So I ain't get any work done. Nothing's done, but I'm feeling good. So, okay. So, ladies, hey, M Love, Lakeisha, Tiffany, I'm going to come to you in a second. But let me start off by reading about this wonderful lady. So, first of all, Karla Hampton is actually Goonies girl on our YouTube, Live Free TV, part of the family. So she's actually a family member of us. So I just wanted to make sure that you knew that. And so let's talk a little bit about her. So Karla Hampton is the founder of Intuitive Mind Co., where she demystifies law and business for entrepreneurs and creatives so that they can do the work they love and stay on top of their business. Now, I'm feeling this. As an intuitive business consultant, she believes that intuition is a powerful tool and helps her clients to build their business from the inside out. Very important. A lot of good questions that's coming up for me. Karla has over 10 years of experience as an attorney and consultant in business formation, contracts, real estate, and public benefits law. She sees the big picture while executing the detailed strategy to provide client centered, solution focused services. With her background in facilitation, mediation, and conflict coaching, she helps her clients to do the deep work necessary to reach their desired outcomes. Karla understands the mental, emotional, and spiritual challenges business owners face, especially women who are transitioning from worker bee to queen bee. Come on, girl. Through her journey to personal professional growth, Karla helps her clients to navigate their transformational journeys. This is very, very beautiful, very interesting. So many questions. So, Karla has received honors for her work on accessible healthcare while at the Legal Aid Society of DC, and for her part in a multi-million-dollar settlement on behalf of the Department of Health and Human Services. She is co-author, peer-reviewed journal articles published in the American Journal of Public Health and Preventing Chronic Disease. Karla holds a law degree from the University of California, Berkeley, my town I used to live. She is licensed to practice law in the District of Columbia, DC, in the house. So thank you, Karla. So I'm so excited. So ladies, I told you we're not playing around on this show, on this channel. We are taking the top notch and really just kind of bending their ear just a little bit. And so what I want to do is I done introduce Karla, and I don't know if I got everything in because I have a feeling she's so much more than we could even write here. So, Karla, tell us a little bit about yourself tonight. And first of all, thank you. And I would love to know when I read all of that, and I know you've heard it before because it's you, but what stands out most about that bio, and what would you like people to know about what Karla Hampton and what Intuitive Mind Code is?
Yes. Thank you. Well, I'm just going to say I'm so excited to be here, to be on this side. Um,
Yes.
and I just, thank you for creating this space and inviting other women, other Black women in to share their knowledge and, our expertise.
That's right.
And so for me, I think what I want people to know is that you can blend the masculine and the feminine because throughout my life, I grew up when I was a little girl. I grew up in the Bay Area,
Yeah.
Richmond, California. I was
Wow.
very creative, very intuitive, and as I went through the education indoctrination process, I
Hmm.
lost that. And I took on
Yes.
more masculine energy and very focused and get it done. And that's how I was able to get through college and get through law school.
Right.
But spirit and my intuition was always with me. It never left me. It was always there. And a funny story, in my first year of law school, I actually had a very mystical experience. And
Mm.
I remember thinking, really? Like, you're going to do this now? Like, my first year of law school, I'm trying to figure things out. But,
Right.
but I always kept reading and exploring and meditating and trying to explore, and,
Mhm.
that really helped me kind of navigate my way through my career to end up where I am now. So from, doing the 9 to 5 and taking the
Right.
leap and, being self-employed and working for
Right.
myself and
Right.
creating a bigger vision for myself than just being a freelancer, right?
Mhm.
Um, and so for me, being able to come back and bring the masculine and the feminine back together, about 2015, I took some time off to
Yeah.
love on myself.
Yeah.
Went to Maui, did a spiritual
Wow.
retreat there, went to Costa Rica, did another women's retreat, and
Oh, okay.
just really connected with my central body, really got
Yeah.
into my body, out of my head and back into my
Yes.
body. And,
Yes.
and doing that work, while it can be challenging and scary and hard, it's so fulfilling,
Yes.
because as a business owner and as a new business owner, you're going to be looking a lot outside of yourself, right? Sign up for this webinar. This is how you do a Facebook
Come
ad.
on.
This is how you do an email campaign. This is how you should do this and do that. And it's so much. And so for me, the ability to encourage my clients to be still, to get quiet, to listen to that inner voice, to
Right.
trust and get to build a relationship with the intuition. And that's going to really guide them to what is going to work for them, as opposed to all of these different webinars and all these different gurus that are going to be trying to tell you what to do.
I love it. I love it. There's so much there that's juicy. And so, because I have a couple of questions. First of all,
Mhm.
now understanding that you grew up in the Bay Area,
Yeah.
it makes so much sense that you're an intuitive business consultant. Like, really, because the Bay gets it in that way. I think that's a wonderful, I'm say unusual, because just not the ordinary, growing up or raising that I think the Bay Area does for you. I love the
Mhm.
openness, because my next question would then be, so I understand your background. This is why, I brought up the Bay. The Bay yours are much, I find just a freedom in exploring the unseen and a belief. I believe in the unseen in a different kind of way. I mean, there's different people doing different things, but that
Right.
element is there, and you were part of that. But you also, as you said, which again goes with your uniting the divine masculine and divine feminine into our life choices, our life paths, no matter what we choose. That's
Right.
because that's really your paths are kind of the spiritual, and then which is feminine, and then the go getter, let's make it happen, which is masculine. So
Right.
I, this is such a needed thing that you're doing, and I'm kind of drawing it out for people so they truly are understanding these two things that come together, the necessity, because we're not going to start living in the here and now, which is the going to school and going to work, but we're not going to be able to continue in the here and now, going to school and going to work, if we're not mentally, physically, and spiritually, especially,
Right.
sound. So I love that. So I
Yeah.
feel like you are the perfect person for this. So my question is, were you conscious? Are you telling me you were conscious throughout your going through law school, going through the academia, were you conscious that I'm disconnected? I feel disconnected from my body. I'm too much in my head, as it was consciously when it was happening, or did you later on design kind of what you're doing now based on that period of rest and relaxation you did when you went abroad, when you traveled? How did that kind of happen? I want to know, like, what
Yeah.
preceded. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, yes, that's a very good question. So when I was in law school, I really wasn't conscious, but I was
Mhm.
feeling the effects of the disconnect. My first year in law school, I was very depressed. I mean, looking back now, I realize I was very depressed. I was really
Mhm.
struggling with do I belong here? Is this what's vibing for me?
Right.
Being the only African American in my class cohort, um, and then having that experience, being reminded that there is another way, that there's spirit and there's energy and there's things out there. And so for me, during law school, I knew I had to buckle down and focus. But once I had that experience and then actually started exploring and reading books and meditating, I was less depressed. I started to find things within the law that fit me. I never wanted to be a corporate lawyer. I never wanted to be, a litigation trial attorney. I've always wanted to do public health, public interest, how to use this education, this skill, this entree into this world of law, and how to bring that back to my community and empower myself and my community so we can know how to use the law for our benefit. So I was able to really hold on to that. And then as I went into the workforce, and again, being one of only few African American attorneys, there were different pressures and different weights that came on. And there was different realizations that this is not the way that my spirit really wants to do the work that I'm here to do, this healing work that I'm here to do. And I, to be completely honest, I just about darn near had a nervous breakdown on the job. And, it manifested with an illness. I was diagnosed with Sjogren's syndrome, which is a chronic autoimmune disorder. So my body again was telling me, slow down, like pay attention to me.
I'm a shutdown,
Exactly. And so finally I just had to walk away from my sanity and from my health. And then that's when I went on the journey and took the risk, took the leap of faith and did the Costa Rica and did the retreat, spiritual retreat in Maui, and really took the time to connect with my body and with the sensual, and get quiet. So that was my journey. It was a long time coming. I'm stubborn. I'm very stubborn spirit.
What's your sign?
Pisces.
Oh, Pisces. Okay, but you're spiritual also.
Yes.
And you're fluid as well. So there is that. I mean, the stubborn, yes, but the fluidity, I think, is the saving grace, and the spirituality, the deep need to be spiritual as well.
Yes.
So so you're like the perfect person for what you're doing, like the perfect person for the job. Like, that's why I really love this. Like, I'm so excited right now because I don't really do consultations anymore, but you do. And I think that you are actually a perfect person for a lot of folks here. So let me make sure I have some clarity on exactly who your client is. So is your client someone who is at this time, maybe at a job, at a 9 to 5, and your job is to move them towards entrepreneurship, or do you just move them towards health wherever mental, holistic health, wherever they may choose to be? So are you teaching them to be healthful or healthy in a sense where they are now, or are you teaching them to transition out, or are you doing both? Transition out and become their own entrepreneur or do entrepreneurial endeavors?
Right. I think the tools that I'm teaching, like you said, can be used across different areas of your life, your profession. So I want to try to anchor it in the transitioning of a 9 to 5 to a small business owner, entrepreneur, or if you already left the job and you're kind of like flailing about and not quite sure how to start or where to get started, helping you to get back on track with your business. And then sometimes there's been people who've been in business for a couple of years and they're just stuck. They're just creatively stuck. They're burnt out. They don't have the same passion for it. So I'm helping them to reconnect to that, or helping them making peace and letting that go and moving on, doing something else.
I'm just loving this. I need to sign up for my 20-minute consultation for free. I'm telling you, because woo, girl, you should have told me this. Okay. We need a consultation right now. I know exactly what I need some help on. So we're going to be talking. I'm very, very serious because I love this. I love this idea that, and that's what I think is so great about your intuitive consulting work, is that you understand. You said something before too. You understand that you said something about helping you find, in a sense, your place, knowing that it may not be someone else's. So that lets me know that you're hearing your clients you're listening, and you're moving them towards really where they really want to go, which is the fantastic part is they over here and what they want is over there, and you're the conduit between the two to bring them across. And I really, it's just an image for me that I love. I love that image of you bringing people across because I think it's important to whatever their perfect place and thing is. So tell me about some of your,
Exactly.
yes, tell me about some of your clients. Like, so let me just ask you this because it's a question. So I like this. So people should probably come to you before they maybe start that business, before they leave the job or right after they left the job? Should they get in touch with you then when they really don't know a step? So in other words, can you help those that don't know step one? How would you?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So, I would, meet with them, do an intake and assessment, and again, like really listen. And so for me, the way intuition plays a role, even in my own business, is that I am guided or led to ask certain questions. And I tend to ask questions and hone in on things that my clients are not even aware of.
That's right.
Even people in my life and friends, they be like, dang,
Right.
so I'm like,
Right.
kind of like how to hone in on that. So
That's
helping
right.
them to get some clarity, right?
Yes.
So getting clarity, creating that space for them to brainstorm, to dream, to think, but then also, having to bring some reality into the situation too, to let them know that, while we're going to do this dream work and while you're going to be able to get clarity, there might be some points that we need to touch on that I could bring into you to let you know kind of the reality of the situation or how many steps it's going to take to get you where you want
Excellent.
to go. Because once they've kind of figured out what they want to do
Right.
and doing that deep work that they're going to have to do, the added benefit of my legal background and my business consulting is I can then actually help you implement. So you need to file the LLC.
Right.
You need to, get your corporate records in order. You need to, review a contract. You want to go into partnership with someone, but you're not quite sure. We can address both the intuitive, kind of making that decision, and then what
Yeah.
legally do you need to do to protect yourself when you're entering into that agreement.
This is so fascinating. I'm so fascinated. Like I get it. Like I get it and I know how needed it is. And I'm so glad that we have a sister in our community that can help us with that. I know personally friends of mine, clients of mine, past clients that could not break through that wall from that 9 to 5
Mm-hmm.
to that entrepreneur thing. I mean, it could the opportunities could be slapping them in the face, and they cannot move past it.
Exactly.
So let me ask you. I know it could be various reasons, different. What do you think that block is for a lot of women that say, or men or women that say, I really
Mhm.
want to quit my job, or I really want to start this new business, but they just cannot. What is that blockage?
Yeah, I think one of the first things is, of course, understanding why you want to leave the job. Understanding, a lot of times people just they want out, right? They just want out. The grass is going to be greener on the other side. And so, what I encourage is to think about, okay, what is it about this job you don't like? What is it you do like? Really try to figure out what's going on with the dynamics. Is it a certain coworker or colleague that's bothering you? Is a supervisor that's bothering you? Because when you become an entrepreneur, your clients are your boss. So
That's right.
you might have a difficult client you have to deal with, right?
That's true.
You might have your schedule might not be your own. When you might have clients calling you with emergencies that you got to respond to.
Right.
So, kind of, what is it about the job that you struggle with? What is it that you were strong on? And really do an honest assessment, right? So that way, because I think when they leave and they get all this freedom, it's kind of like I'm stuck, and they're
Right.
realizing that they need to get a routine in place, right?
Right.
They need to get some goals and some benchmarks. They need to recreate their workday for themselves
Right.
that atones to their flow and their energy and their rhythm.
Yes.
And they need to deal with some limiting beliefs.
Right.
If you uh, didn't believe in yourself or you had challenges around asking for that promotion, when you know you did the job, how that's going to translate into asking for your clients to pay you what you're worth,
That's right.
valuing what you're worth, you
That's
know.
right.
So you're going to have to do that work in addressing those limiting beliefs.
Right.
And there's also so vitally important is health. Is
Right.
health. I mean, you know, you're going to have the energy. This is a marathon, not a sprint. So
That's
you're
right.
going to have to be sleeping, eating, taking care of yourself,
Right.
getting the rest, taking care of your health. Is because
Yeah.
without your health, you know, you don't get sick days. There's no sick
That's
days when
right.
you work for yourself.
Come
If
on
you
now.
don't work, you're not making money.
No, and you don't
Okay.
eat. And that's pretty
You
serious.
don't eat.
That's right. Yes. And I love that.
Exactly.
Thank you. Like, I mean, just your way of like saying everybody and anybody that's transitioning out of a job and into another or their own business is not necessarily ready for that own business. It's not, in other words, you can't run away from yourself.
Right.
And
Exactly.
that's what you're allowing and them to actually look at that. Like this is absolutely vital because I, as an entrepreneur, I can tell everyone that's watching right now that if you don't do this work, you're going to spend more dollars and you're going to feel like you're making less sense. And I really mean that. You're going to, because you're right, you're going to stay in places longer than you need to, whether that's your own business or the way you're operating it, or it's your job. The same habits that you didn't address at the job, you're going to either have to address on your own, or you're not going to have a business that's going to make you happy. You could have one, but you might not
Exactly.
be happy. So, I mean, like, you're right. Like, if getting that, that's something that I say, invest, ladies, in a coach like you, because a consultant like you, because I can see where I would have transitioned, I believe, out of situations easier because I would have had a plan
Right.
of where I was going from the beginning. So everything, it would have been, like you said, benchmarking is so important. So, 2 years, I want to be here, I want to be there, I see myself here. So, and you're giving us the roadmap to get to this location. I could see, instead
Exactly.
of like most entrepreneurs, a lot, we
Mhm.
learn on the job. We do the OJT, on the job training that, oh, yeah, we don't have to do that. So I'm just so happy you could take us along. So typically, how do you work with your clients? Do you do once a week consultations? What's the duration of the consultations?
Mhm.
How is that looking for each client? Because I'm sure different clients might want different things. How does
Right,
that work?
right. So after the intake process, you know, we can do a weekly or biweekly session depending on their ability and time that they have to do the work and for
Mm-hmm.
me to get back on. Because for me, I'm really just a guide. I kind of just listen,
Mm-hmm.
reflect back what you might not be hearing, and then set very specific goals and benchmarks, things to do. Also, for some reason, I just attract knowledge and information. So I'm able to just research and find resources and find things that people need and connect you to this app or have you heard about this website or this group. And so, you know, really it's kind of an ebb and a flow of,
Right.
you know, where they want to go.
Yeah.
You know, do they want to just go to, okay, you know, I have enough money saved up, or I have a spouse or partner, so I don't have to worry right now on bringing
Right.
in money. I
Right.
can just have some time to just kind of heal from
Yeah.
whatever situation I came out of, and
Right.
then I can explore to see what I want to do and what that would look like versus
Yes.
someone who, you know, is hitting the ground, ready to go, you know, ready to incorporate, ready to get their corporate records together, ready to start taking on their own clients. So,
Right.
so it'll be like a 60 minute session weekly
Okay.
or bi-weekly, and
Right.
then check in through email, you know, throughout the week, you know, check in if you have a question for me or something comes up. And then once we move towards the incorporation part and
Mm-hmm.
kind of ongoing management, then that could be something like a monthly retainer,
Right.
you know,
Okay.
where you have access to me and my time,
Right.
and that I can be more responsive to you. We work together, we know each other, I know who you are, I know where you're trying to go. And
Exactly.
then it's about implementation and accountability, because
Right.
roadblocks are gonna come up.
Yes.
Robots in your life is going to test you. Murphy is
Right.
going to be waiting for you,
Right.
and and roadblocks are going to come up. So
Yeah.
yeah, Mhm.
Absolutely. That's absolutely wonderful. So do you notice that, I mean, tell our viewers a little bit of the importance of really investing in a coach, because some may still think that they could go it alone. Could you
Right.
tell them why? Because like I said, I can talk about the benefits of coaches that I've had, and
Right.
also I saw the lag or the stagnation when I did not have the coaches. So why
Right.
is that? Tell us why that
Right.
is.
Right. Well, first of all, everything that I talk about with my clients, everything I discuss is something that I've been through. It's an
Hmm.
experience that I had. I did the whole I'm passionate about my job. I don't
Hmm.
really worry about the pay because I'm
Hmm.
so passionate about it. I'm working for this nonprofit. I got all these people patting me on the back, but I'm struggling on how to pay my bills, right?
Correct.
And then but there's no work getting done. The change that I want to see is not happening, right?
Right.
To working in a situation where there's an old boys network, and so you got
Yeah.
to navigate that. To dealing with, you know, um, I say racism, microaggression on the job,
Wow.
and how that can
Wow.
beat you down. Okay,
Yes.
and then for me, I took a leap, and I didn't really have a plan, to be
Right.
honest, when I first took a leap, and so I
Okay.
learned from that, and
Yes.
then just over the years, kind of retooling, trying this out, trying that out.
Right.
I tried to start, a different business that didn't take off the way I thought it was because it
Right.
really didn't speak truly. I didn't take the time to do the deep work and
Okay.
think, is this really for me?
That's
So
true.
letting that go and having to mourn that and letting that
Right.
go and being open to something new. So all of these things, I've already been through. And so you want to have a coach, you want to have someone that says, I've been through this. Now,
Right.
even though I've been through it, and even though,
Right.
because you try to tell them, people are still
Hmm.
not going to listen. So
That's true.
you're going to do what you're going to do, and you might fall. But because I've been there, I know how to get you back up quickly,
There you
get you up
go.
and running quickly again. Okay. And to get you
Absolutely.
back on your feet, you know?
That's excellent. That's
Exactly.
real.
Yeah. Yeah. And for me, I think what I offer uniquely is the kind of intuitive part. Again, like I
Yeah.
said, that came about because I realized that for me, the most spiritual act I've done is to start my business, is to become
Hmm.
an entrepreneur. Because think of it, you are creating, like the
Yeah.
creator, you are co-creating something
Yeah.
out of nothing,
Oh, nothing.
out of
Not say.
nothing. So it's a very spiritual act. And so you need
Yes.
spiritual tools, you need that guidance, you need to know how to tap into your own intuition to
Yes.
do this work, to really bring something forth. Because in this market today, you have to be unique. You have to have a unique value proposition. You
I
just
say.
do. It is
Right.
different. Everyone got YouTube channels,
Right.
Facebook pages, everyone out here doing their thing, taking
Yes.
risk, and so
Right.
and so you really have to find what is your unique value proposition. And the way you do that is through your intuition, is through spirit, is through doing
Right.
that work. And I
Right.
promise you, it's going to make you a stronger business person. It's going to make your
Right.
business stronger. It's going to make your ability to market your business stronger.
Right.
I mean, if you want to speed up the process, if you want to get back on your feet, definitely a coach is the way to go. Because I've had mentors in my life. That's how
Right.
I've learned.
It's true. It's
Hmm.
invaluable. It's invaluable. You used a word that I really liked. I was very interested in, and I wanted to talk a little more about it. Then we're going to go to the ladies and answer some questions. But use the word exploration, and
Hmm.
sometimes that there's that period of exploration. And I just wanted to share with the ladies about how important that is, because we're talking to so many different people at different stages. We're talking to the
Hmm.
women that are that work 9 to 5s and want to leave. We're talking to women who maybe they would want a business but don't know what it is. But we're also talking to also business women like
Hmm.
myself, like yourself, who are struggling maybe in business or haven't done the next necessarily deep intuitive work
Right.
that's for the next step. Like maybe they've done pretty okay, but they can't quite get to that next step. I
Right.
think these
Right.
are like the pivotal times when you have to ask yourself, when do I need a coach? That is a time. New years, new decades. We're talking about
Hmm.
spirituality, all of those things. But I love this idea of exploration. Do you find that that's very difficult for women, particularly Black women, to, because I did a video today talking about how I get to sit with myself all day. So when I sound really brilliant on, when I sound really brilliant on my YouTube, my channels, it's because I done sat with nobody but me in spirit all day. So what is the importance? Because you speak of it, but this is again, definitely repeat the importance of exploration, where you may just be between in a sense, a place between knowing what you want and not, and that's okay if you have the time to sit with yourself. What is the importance of that? Can you talk to us about that?
I think it's so important because women, Black women in particular, when we get to this stage, we are the best. We are the best and the brightest because we have to be. We have to be.
That's
okay?
right.
And when we put our mind to something, we can do it better than anyone else. It's
That's
just
right.
facts.
That's just right.
It's just facts. So, you have women who are used to that, to achieving, to success, to figuring out, to rolling up their sleeves and doing it. And again, this is all really heavy in the mind. Right. So what I want to do is I want to help women, to encourage them to get out of their mind and back into their bodies, and to just pause and just think, well, what if? What if I did this over here?
Exactly.
What if I did this differently?
Right.
What would that look like? Like, play it out, play it all the way out.
Right.
Then what? Okay, then what happens? Well, I tried this business over here and it doesn't work out. But what does that look like? Well, I didn't make that much money, and I had to close this. I said, well, then what? Did you meet anyone new? Just try to play out to the end scenario, because a lot of times they can't see it, or it's just so overwhelming or frightening to them that they don't want to go there. But if they play it out and realize, this is something that's not as scary as I thought.
Right.
And I have the space and the finances and kind of the time to try to explore and to see if this can be a value add. And it doesn't have to be throw away what you built. It could just be a value add, a tweaking in a sense.
Right, exactly. Whatever feels good. And I think you're right I'm going to go to these questions, and greetings. I think you're right, for so many people, they feel like they don't really even know what they want. And I think that exploration time is so helpful. That's when it's time to go into exploration time, if you can, like you said, if you have support, because I think you don't know, and it's okay not knowing. So to sit for a while and get to know, because I agree, you don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater, but sometimes I think a lot, for me, I find in business, I completely know when it's time to go in, but there's these other real fears that come up. The fear of, paying this bill, or keep staying afloat, or God forbid, go to a job. I'm sorry. It's not That's a nightmare, a freaking nightmare for me. That just can't happen. So, so I think that, what I like is what you're doing is you're soothing your client as well. You're soothing your client through the process of transition. Transition is necessary for growth. And I really appreciate what you're doing. Okay, let me say hi to these ladies. Peace, love. Like, I just love it because Carla would be on the other side, but Carla's over here. Okay. So y'all say hi to your sister. Peace and love, Tiffany. I'm so excited to be here tonight. Thank you, Love. This is a wonderful conversation. Hey, Miss Hampton and Miss Lisa. Yes. Hey, Emma. She says, hey, y'all. Miss Jackie, the visionary. Hola, Lisa, Carla, ladies. Thank you. Hola to you. Hola. Awesome. Peace. Awesome, says Melanin Rich. Wow. Thank you for coming to speak with us, Carla. Yes, this is very fascinating, and it's what y'all need, what we all need. Carla, so glad you came to share with us. Thank you, Queen, says Love. Hello, Queens. Hey, Poetic Beauty. Thanks for your input and expertise. Is it okay to want an all-Black business? I'm in education. I want to use my gifts to better our community. What are your words of wisdom? Carla, take it away.
Yes, I would say that's a niche. I heard this one guy, his business is solely pools. Like all he talks about and blogs about and writes about is pools, and he's
Mm-hmm.
doing okay. And
Mm-hmm.
I think if that's what speaks to your spirit, if
Mm-hmm.
that's what you vibe with and you do well with, you're going to be successful. Because
Yeah.
what happens if you don't do it, right? And you have this nagging feeling that you should, you're
Mm-hmm.
going to constantly be distracted. And now already you built up mistrust with yourself.
Right.
So already there's going to be some doubt in other decisions that you make. And
Right.
let's say this, let's say you do an all black business and you
Right.
find that you're struggling and then you have to expand. Nothing wrong with that either.
Right.
Nothing wrong
Exactly.
with that either, you know.
Right.
And you're gonna have some flavor, and you're gonna have some things that you've learned and you gained from trying to do this business and
Right.
being able to expand. So I say
Exactly.
definitely sit with yourself, and really hone in on why. You know, why do you want to do the all black business? What
Right.
value do you see in that? What can you bring to that community more so than other communities? What's your connection? What's your hook?
Right.
Yeah. Those-
Absolutely. I so agree. I so agree. I mean, my sentiments exactly. Just as a entrepreneur, been out here on some levels for 20 years, I could not see, but that's me. I could not see not doing an all black business or talking to black women because I would be a fraud. I feel talking to white women. I don't have that experience. So I'm
Mhm.
with you. What I mean, sometimes the question is actually the answers in the question as well. Like you said, like who do you feel more comfortable with? And it's not comfortable where you're going to be stagnant, but comfortable enough that you know this is your people and you have something to offer them. I think
Right.
sometimes familiarity is about I know what my people want and I know what they need. I think black
Exactly.
people do know what we need. I think I hear great ideas all the time coming from barbershops, beauty salons, and on the bus stop.
Mhm.
So we know what we need. I think the thing is believing that there's black
Exactly.
folks that can actually support you in supporting them. I think that that's that
Exactly.
blockage that a lot of us think we're
Yes.
limiting the white dollar when it's really the white dollar makes more money off the so-called black dollar. So I think the whole idea is like you're right, just kind of digging like I feel like we should go without fear when we go
Right.
into our businesses as far
Exactly.
as this is my this is my vision. Now, where the path may take you, I agree with you, could be a whole bunch of places and you're ready
Right.
for the world. So no
Right.
limits. Because I heard that, Carla.
Exactly. Yep.
No limits. Sometimes you're going to
Exactly.
sell your business. You're going to sell your whole company. It may not
Exactly.
be somebody that looks like you, and that's not a bad move. I mean, for
Right.
various reasons. So I'm with you that, of course, the integrity and the goal is to be with your
Right.
folks, but then if doing the spiritual work with Carla will help you move through and kind of always be in the right place for you at this time or at the right time. I believe that. So great question,
Exactly.
great answer. Thank you
Exactly.
so
Yeah.
much. That was California Soul. Porter
Mhm.
Beauty says, Carla, thank you for sharing these gems with us. I know, right, y'all? Now remember, Carla is doing a free 20-minute consultation, and it's only for the first 20 women. Is that correct, Carla? Just so
Yes.
they know. And all information is already in the description box. I figured it out. Put it
Right.
in first. And also, she has a link if you want to sign up for her mailing list. And that link, both are all in the subscription box. So please check it out, ladies. Us breaking these chains got them sirens coming out of nowhere. That's right. Here we are, exactly. Right? Love this as Coppertinians. Isn't it wonderful? Thank you. Queen Lex says, hey, ladies. Hey, Queen
Hi,
Lex.
Queen.
Is that so? So Kaba, the queen I need to speak to. Yes, well, her information is in the description box, and actually she's right here. So feel free to ask her any questions, and we're gonna go on to her expertise and just actually really being so I'm just so thankful to actually learn from her. So let's go do some basic questions that I think most
Mhm.
people have. They read about it, answers from other sources, but I actually want to hear about it from you. So
Mhm.
the first thing is how a big question that a lot of people have on their mind is how do you know is I'm gonna ask a different question. Is there such thing as an entrepreneur? In other words, are entrepreneurs made or can they learn to be an entrepreneur? How do you know you're ready to be an entrepreneur? How do you know that?
I think it's both. For me, so I have an older brother who's 10 years older. And at the age of 18, he stepped in and took over the family business. So he didn't go the college route. He went straight to the business route. And then I
Gotcha.
took the college route. So he was really born. It was really it showed up in his blood the most. And for me, I kind of had to learn that because again, I went through the whole education, career, profession type thing. So I really feel that it can be both. I think for
Yes.
people, and for him, because was born with it, he has some other challenges. So he has some other challenges that he had to face
Gotcha.
in terms of really um, sticking with it and
Right.
being focused and not
Yeah.
wanting to do this over here and do that over there.
Yeah.
So I think both come with its own benefits and challenges. Um,
Right.
and yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah, that's good to know. And I love that too.
Mhm.
Yeah, you're right that sometimes entrepreneurs get very, very excited and then they might lose the focus on the original plan.
Mhm.
And I think that that's what a coach is so great for. She definitely keeps you very, very focused. So I really love that.
Exactly.
Do you find that does age have any effect on how successful entrepreneurs will be? It's like for me driving a car, learning at 35, I'm not as confident a
Mhm.
driver as maybe if I learned at 16. But does that apply to entrepreneurs as well? Is there such thing as the older they get, or have you seen entrepreneurs come out and show up and show out at any age?
I think that really has to do with the risk and the risk that you can take. Being a young person, don't have a mortgage, don't have kids in the family, can
Right.
travel, can crash and burn and quickly get back up together, again, versus someone who's older, has a family, might be a single mother, or might be a caregiver, because I'm a caregiver for my mom as well. So how do I balance that and making sure that I'm straight and that she's straight?
Right.
And that so there's certain things that I want to do that I'm a little bit more constrained because of my situation versus someone else. So it really comes down to your risk tolerance, how much you can put into it. A young person might be willing to burn that midnight oil, and an older person's like, no, I need my beauty sleep. So
That's true.
it's like I need to know.
Right. So you're saying kind of like be real, I mean, just evaluate and assess truly your situation
Exactly.
before you decide to how much risk are you willing to take. Exactly. Okay.
Exactly.
That
Exactly.
is really wonderful. Okay, one second. We're going to go back to the ladies because I see some wonderful things here. So, Carla Jr. says, love this. Queen Lex says, hey, ladies, hey. Uh, okay, so your soul needs to speak to you. All information is already in the description box. Carla Jr. says, I agree. The limiting beliefs will have you stuck and seeking clarity. Yes, for
Yeah.
sure. I am back. Had to get some water. Hey, Miss Jackie. When you say explore, Carla, what you want, you mean to sit with yourself and figure out what you want to do? That
Yes.
question is
Good question. So for me, yeah, you can sit and you can meditate. For me, I find that movement and dance works for me.
yeah,
Whatever it takes for you to get into your body and to feel really grounded and open, whether that's dance, whether
right,
it's yoga,
that,
walking, and there's
right,
nothing wrong with sitting still. Even after you do that activity, to really have the stillness and sit with whatever came up for you, whatever
right,
moved through your body.
right,
That is going to be important in writing and brainstorming, mind mapping, getting your markers and a big pad of paper out and drawing whatever creative way it takes for you to get in touch with yourself. That's what you want to hone in on. Try a lot of different things and see what sticks. And that's going to be the thing for you, your go-to know that, okay, I'm tapping in, I'm connecting with myself.
That's just excellent advice, and I love it. It
Mhm.
goes right hand in hand with the class that I just recently taught, which was meditation for Black folk. And one of them was our meditation looks different, and it's okay. and that the movement or that thing, whatever that thing that we do that makes us feel so good, meditative state. I listen to, like I said, love music with a particular frequency in the groove. And
Mm-hmm.
I've been in heaven for 2 days. Like I absolutely did
Exactly.
nothing but that and allowed love to prevail and come through. And through that, that became my meditation. So I do love that. That's what I think is so important about ladies having Karla on tonight and just having her in our lives is that she gets what we need as Black women and some of our struggles. So a lot of things you might be coming to her with, she won't be too surprised, and
Right.
she'll be able to like really, take care of you. And this is very exciting. I feel like this Karla and her coaching is the difference between starting a business, a difference between and just thinking about it, like
Right.
and then actually doing it. Like I feel like that's what your coaching would do for us, and I think for some of us quicker than we think, because a lot of times we have these answers within, like you said, we just need somebody to say, let's think about that again or go over that again.
Exactly.
So I love that. So if you
Exactly.
want to talk a little more about that what you for about Black women, what do you see for us in the future of being an entrepreneurs? What is the future for Black women in entrepreneurship? Do you see something?
Oh, I think the sky is the limit. I really do. I
Mm-hmm.
think I think for us, again, we have to be the top. We have to be the best. And when
Right.
we have that, in my own experience, being intellectually the top or the best, right? And knowing how to do my research and knowing how to write and knowing how to negotiate and do the arguments and all of
Right.
that. Okay, so you take that intellectualism and then you pair it with spirit and with energy and with creativity, and that is the most powerful thing. So now you have your creativity, right? And now you have that energy flowing through you, and you can focus that in on this intellectual work, on like getting it done and
Exactly.
being creative and making it happen. I mean,
Exactly.
we have to look at things in a new way. We have to, not only just survive but thrive, right? And have fun and be joyous doing it. And I think
Yes.
our spirits are so beautiful in that way. And that's why other groups gravitate towards us. That's why other groups take creative license with things
Yes.
that we build and we create,
Right.
right? Um, and, a lot of inventions in history, music, I would say 90% of the things right now that don't have a black face came from
Right.
blackness,
Yes. Come on,
came from
Queen.
blackness.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's so important what you're saying and said, because I think that sometimes we need that reminder. So I love when you say that there is no limit. The sky's the limit
Right.
and there is no limit, because I think our what we when we as long as we're thinking consciously, which is taking the time, the space, the self care, the
Mhm.
evaluation, the working with others, to bring it into the community. I think that you're right. We'll always be on top and we'll be further ahead than most. We always have been. So now we have a sister here who's saying we can do this more consciously. We could skip some of the,
Exactly.
yes, some of the hardships that's not necessary. And in a sense, what I'm hearing is this is what other communities do. This is why they succeed, because they do have coaches that can see the forks in the road before you do.
Exactly.
Come on.
And they know how to use the law to their advantage.
That's a good
So,
point. More point.
yes,
Yes,
exactly. Protecting your intellectual property,
that's right.
protecting yourself when you enter into these contracts and agreements,
That's right.
knowing, there is a problem you having with your partner, understanding the mediation and arbitration process,
That's
really
right.
learning how to protect your assets both legally and then
Yes.
from a business perspective. I mean, the other thing I didn't talk too much about here is that I am a real estate investor. I do have a real
Right.
estate.
Tell us a little about that,
Yeah, I have
please.
real estate property. I have property. My brother and I, well, my father
Mhm.
started the real estate company for our family. And,
Yeah.
at 18, he left and went into the Marines. He
Wow.
came out. He was the first Black princeman in Richmond, California. And
Oh,
then on the job, he got the book Think and Grow Rich,
that's
all these
right.
other real estate investment books. And he taught himself
Wow.
real estate, bought his
Wow.
first property, Sometimes he wrote a deposit check. There wasn't money in there yet. He had to
That's
have
right.
my mom run to the bank and put it in there. I mean, he made it work, right?
He made it
And
work.
so continuing that legacy of real estate. One of the things I want to tell women is in business, when you think about business and you think about longevity or the market, there are certain things that people are going to always need. They're always going to need a roof over the house,
That's right. That's right.
transportation, clothing,
Yes.
being able to understand their finances, and
Right.
some sort of like health, religion, spirituality. There are certain things that are
Right.
always going to be needed, right? And
Okay.
so for us, in real estate, wanting to make sure we provide safe, affordable homes for people, helping first-time home buyers, helping first-time investors get their own property.
Excellent.
And so that's, something else that I do too. I work with new landlords, making sure that they have everything legit, how to deal with tenants. So it's just
That's excellent. A lot of ladies here, I'm sure, are thinking about wanting to be real estate agents or
Mhm.
stagers, or I mean, so many
Exactly.
levels of that. Loan
Exactly.
officers. I mean, all the gamut, and you being on many of the sides that we will have to encounter. I mean, even down from buying land, you need a lawyer for that. You talk about real estate, and you could really lead us in the right direction and make the process a little less intimidating for so many people. I mean, that's the other reason why you're there.
Yeah.
When I owned 18.5 acres of land when we first came to North Carolina, I'll
Hmm.
tell you my biggest inspiration was the woman who told me about the land. Her and her husband were black. And just seeing that, not she's talking about something that she's doing. I'm on the land where she built the house and they bought the
Hmm.
land. And that inspired me so much to realize I can do it. And then so that inspiration of us seeing ourselves is actually vital. And that's why I'm glad you really put that piece in there. You talk about that a lot because I think that I'm inspired. Like you have totally inspired me. I'm very serious. Could you leave a slot for me? I really need a consultation from you. So we will work that out. We'll talk about that after the show, okay? Because I need a consultation. I need at least the first one. I do, and I'm sure other ladies do it well. So, ladies that's watching this that just tuned in, we're talking to Karla Hampton of Intuitive Mind Co. Is that correct? She is a spiritual, intuitive business consultant. She is an attorney as well, and she's a coach. I mean, she gets you through, and she helps you go from if wanting to the 9 to 5 to entrepreneurship and all the things and navigate you through all those pitfalls that most entrepreneurs, especially if they've had no training, will go through, and you don't have to. And it's spiritual. She's a sister like you. I'm going to highly recommend her services because she said the Bay. I get it. My daughter's father's from Richmond, so he live in Richmond right now. Like
Okay.
I know where you're from, and I know the Bay, and I know what it produces because I lived there for 20 something years. So I'm very very excited about what you're doing. And yes, anything you want to share? Actually, I'm going to let you have the last word. Let me just go and let's finish up these last few questions or comments, and then you're going to tell us where they can contact you, even though it's in the box, but I want to have all the information wherever you are so that they
Okay.
know. Okay, so Jacqueline says, I'm currently working on myself
Mhm.
physically and plan to go to nursing school, but I also want a business as well. So what would you say to somebody like Jackie that eventually wants a business? Well, Jackie, though, because I know you really want that nursing school. I know you've been talking about that for a very long time. So you seem to be right where you want to go. Like, do
Oh
you
no.
think?
Oh,
Yeah, what do
that's
you think?
perfect. There is such a need for nursing right now. A lot
Good.
of remote jobs, a lot of nurses that are working for themselves. She
Yes.
can even start a business where she hires other nurses underneath her and
Come
send
on
them
now.
out on assignments. Okay.
That's right. That's right,
Yeah.
Queen.
So yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
There's a
so
lot
I
of
love
opportunity
that.
for
I
that.
love that. And I was thinking that too. Definitely you go get the nursing degree and then like right, flip it, create your own business from it. But I know you want to do that. And that is you said that the healthcare profession will always be needing some people. So
Exactly,
yes,
exactly. And what's important in business too is that you understand the business that you are in. So if she wanted to start a business where she had nurses underneath her, if she was not a nurse and they come from that background, that would be very difficult to do. But by
that's right.
having that
Good
background,
point.
she gets a leg up, see?
That's right. That's
Mhm.
right. So
Yeah.
those are steps to be the big picture before the big picture, just as
Mhm.
important. So this is a step, and I love that. I love that. Thank you so much. Jacqueline also says, yes, Lisa, age is a good question for me, especially because I'm retired, but I feel that there is much more for me to do. Yes, ma'am, there is, and I feel it. So you need to have some body activities. So you need to have some body. Oh yes, so Carla, she's referring to you talking about getting into movement and as a form of
Yes,
meditation. And
yes, yes. So for me, it's hip openers, chest
yes,
openers, open heart space, really moving in the flow. Um,
yes,
just kind of that uninhibited dance where you just kind of
yes,
lose yourself in your body and your rhythm, and you just really listen to where your body is trying to take you. Shaking is another good one too. If you have a lot of stagnant
absolutely.
energy, you're feeling low, like
Yeah,
shaking your body out. That's
yes.
another good one. Something to just get the energy unstuck.
I love it. And I
Mhm.
recommend the Arik Ankar, the yoga by Queen of Fu on her book Sacred Woman. It's womb yoga and
Mhm.
everything. Hip opening, the shaking, the opening of the heart and the chest. All of that is covered because yes, as women, that helps. And I think about I don't think I could have been in business this long if I was not doing all of the health
Exactly.
stuff as well. The baths, the yoga, the meditation. So absolutely. That's wonderful. Thank you. I'm so glad you are here, Carla, says Miss Jackie. Let's see. Did you say there was a free 20-minute consultation? There is for the first 20 women. You can sign up in the description box. You'll see the links to that 20-minute free consultation as well as a link to her email so you can actually stay connected to her. And she's going to tell us other ways if she has it for sure. You said it politely, Carla. Our group still, other groups still from, oh, yes. Oh, yes. Yes, Virginia says women empowering women. How beautiful. Yes, absolutely. This is what we bought. This is Live Free TV, y'all. Okay, Queen says I just scheduled. Yes, Queen. Queen says I just scheduled my consultation. I can't wait, Carla. Thank you so much. You're so knowledgeable. Yes, you feel her energy. Queen Lisa, thank you so much for having Carla with us tonight. She's going to change our life. She's going to change our life. You see all of us? We all like, what? I'm like, put me on the roster. Okay. Got my appointment. Yes, California. So
Yes.
another one, another one. Jackie says, thumbs up to Biz Lady. Yeah, please thumbs up and share the video. People need to know about this sister and the work she's doing in our community. Yes, California. So Sabrina says, how do we get in contact with her? If you look in the description box, we're going to talk about that now. You'll have a link to a free consultation. But if you want other information on how to, and also to an email list, it's in the description box right now. But Carla, can you let them know? Let me get the last one to say, Jacqueline Ridgway, yes, sis, go to the link. Okay, California says go to the link. Carla, is there any else besides the two links, one to be on your mailing list, the other one for the free consultation? Is there any other place that ladies can find you and get in touch with you?
They can find me on LinkedIn. So
Mm-hmm.
if you go to LinkedIn, search for Karla Hampton, you'll find me there. That's another place. You can email me. My email is intuitivemindco@gmail.com.
Good.
That's another way you can email me. Um,
Good.
and yeah, those are the best ways. Right
Okay.
now, I moved from California to Houston. So now I'm in Houston,
Okay.
Texas.
Oh, I'm coming to
And
Texas, girl. I'll see you in Texas in the end of the year.
okay, for
Yeah.
sure, for sure.
Yes.
So I'm not opposed to doing a meetup and doing a
Yes.
workshop or something in person as well if you're in the Houston or Texas area.
You heard, ladies.
Yes, yes. And no, this has been great. I mean, for me, I look back and I'm like, wow, I've been through a lot. I've experienced a lot. I come through the chronic health challenge. I'm dealing with my elderly mom and being a caregiver for her and
Yes.
doing the transition. And, so And so for me, now that I'm like, okay, spirit, now I see you. Now I know that I was meant to experience all these things, to be able to
Yes.
bring this to other women, right?
Yes.
To be, to share my story, and but then to also witness them from a place of authenticity, from sincerity, and from
Yes.
just really love and joy. Like I get my happiness from seeing other people successful. When I can share something with someone and I see the light bulb go off and
Right.
they get it, that for me is like, yes,
Yes, it
yes.
is. Ashe,
You
ashe.
know? And one thing I want to leave the women with is I don't know if you remember when we were younger and they say if you're on fire, you're supposed to stop, drop, and roll.
Right,
And
right.
one of the things for me, what I've done is that when I am in a situation where I start to get panic or I'm a little bit stressed out and it's like so much going on, I do the stop, drop, and roll. So I just
Okay.
stop.
Go ahead.
I'm doing breathe. I drop into my body. So
Yes.
whether that's through deep breathing or some sort of movement or shaking, and then I just roll. I just let the emotions, the feelings just roll through me, breathe it in, exhale it, let it go, and just come back to myself.
That's
And it's
right.
something you can do in a minute, 2 minutes, less than 5 minutes,
Love it.
because I feel that we just get so caught up in our day.
Of
And,
course.
as an entrepreneur, there's going to be so many decisions coming at you. What
Yeah.
accounting service do I sign up? What website service? What
Yeah.
email list? Where do I go? Where, there's so much coming at you. So I just want to
Right.
leave that with you, ladies. Remember to stop, drop, and roll.
That's so tight. That's so tight. Thank you. Stop, drop, and roll, ladies. Stop, assess where you are, that you're in a situation. Drop, so drop into your body, drop into meditation, go back within, and then roll. I love it. Roll. I love it. Roll. I always almost even think about doing the roll or being in your
Exactly.
body and doing the movement.
Exactly.
So, and very just wonderful, very central because I think the idea of being in your body is saying is being sensual, really
Hmm.
is being connected to the senses in
Exactly.
the moment. So
Exactly.
what a wonderful melding of divine feminine and divine masculine energy, as you spoke of at the top of this interview and I just or conversation. I want to thank you so much. I'm so
Thank
wow.
you.
That's very wonderful because this is what we y'all. This is our crew. Like Carla is one of us, and there's so many of you, and I'm just so. Kendra was one of us. We had our Ingram. We had Shamel Ingram last week. Hopefully next week we'll have Dr. LaRonda, and she is a psychologist, so a relationship psychologist. So she's gonna help us out, keep our lives in order and our relationships. And so I'm looking forward to that as well. And all information is in the description box. Carla, I am just so thankful
Oh, thank
to
you.
you. And I wanted to do these things because I knew I was going to learn so much and I was going to gain so much. And I want to thank you. Ladies, please support this sister. Get that 20-minute consultation. And I know you'll be on your way to a much longer one. And also, if you are moved by these Friday guests, sisters, and it's going to be brothers as well in our community with mucho information, and you want to see it going, please feel free to donate to my PayPal or my Cash App, and I'll leave those things somewhere, or I'll leave it in the description box for sure. So, ladies, I'm going to wrap it up. We are at the hour. I want to thank Carla so much again, and yes, life is beautiful. Hold on, ladies. We're just going to go through these a little quickly. Virginia says, so are my goals similar to Jacqueline. 58 years young in my first year of nursing school. Yay, congratulations, another one. Great info. What's the email address again? Michelle wants to know the email address, Carla. Email address, Carla.
Okay, so it's Intuitive Mind Co. So it's the name of my company at gmail.com.
And I'll write it here too. Okay, intuitive. I'm sorry, I can't spell right now. Okay, intuitive mind or minds?
Mind.
Right,
Mind.
mind co, right? CO
CO.
and no and this a dot com, right?
No, Intuitive Mind Co. at gmail.com.
Okay, that's great. At gmail dot com. Okay, so we're going to okay, so I just put it in the chat. So ladies, it's right there, intuitive mind co at gmail.com. So it is here. And so, I mean, it's right here, intuitivemindco@gmail.com. Let me just, okay, so good. So we got that. Thank you. Michelle, I hope you got that. I think you did. Thank you, Carla, says Virginia. Yes, thank you so much, Carla, says Miss Jackie. Sharon says, thank you so much for information, Carla. What a blessing. Signed up, looking for it. Yes. Live Free TV. Listen to me. Okay, intuitivemindco@gmail.com for you ladies. And go ahead, Virginia. Yes, ladies. I want to say thank you so very much. We appreciate you, and we appreciate Carla. We appreciate you all always supporting the ladies that come on a Friday night. We just getting better and better. Okay, Queen. Thank you, lady. Thank you, Carla.
Thank you,
Carla,
everyone.
we'll hopefully we can talk in the morning, or I'll email you and we'll talk about me and you doing a session. I would love that. So
Okay, for
thank
sure.
you, ladies. Have a beautiful one, and I'll see you all next week for another exciting discussion with another exciting sister. Peace and blessings, ladies. Good night.
Good night.